So tonight's call is about posting on Facebook. I think this is a really important topic to cover, especially since we have a whole bunch of new coaches on our team. And sometimes it's hard to figure out like the right way to go about doing it, because you don't want to come across as a salesperson, or that like you're pushing what you're doing, and you don't want people to unfriend you or, stop following you or block you or start calling you out on your Facebook page. You really just want to, keep doing what you were kind of already doing, but adding this new part of your life into it. And we asked Lauren Ruppel, Allison Sorokin, Allison Porter, and Miranda each to talk for a couple minutes about what they've been doing, because honestly, they all post very well. They post from the heart. And I think even Lauren is going to be a good one to listen to, because for a long time she was kind of more going sales. She took a step back and changed everything and just started sharing. And I think it's changed a lot for her. So I think these are three good people to have talk to you and to answer some of your questions. And then, like I said, Allison Porter also made a quick video on her do's or don'ts and how she goes ahead and posts on Facebook. So when the first three are done, we'll watch Allison's video, and then we will go into a Q&A. And the other thing that I want to mention really quick before these girls start is, when posting on Facebook, it's important to know who your market is, your niche market. So after this call, and I'm sure you'll probably hear about this from these girls, after this call, I'm going to post a link about, how to go about finding your niche market. And it's a little assignment, and I'll post that on our team page. And I'd like everyone to do it and share with the group what they've come up with. Okay. So without further ado, I will let the girls get started. Do you want to go Miranda, Allison, Lauren? Does that sound good?
Sure. Works for me.
Okay, then go ahead, Miranda.
All right. I guess just to give you some background, when I started, I really wasn't active on Facebook. When I first started my business, I was occasional. I might put up a picture or two of my family, but that was really it. So it was really hard for me to think about how could I be consistently posting and not posting every day about just Beachbody stuff. So I, really had to. That's where I started from. So I really enjoyed a lot of the sort of calendar kind of ideas, and I really took those to heart, and Motivational Monday, and sometimes I do Thankful Tuesday or Tasty Tuesday, or and I just kind of helped that lead me to start posting and on a regular basis. And that was really my goal to start out. Was I'm like, I just have to get consistent with that, just like I'm doing with my workouts, just like I'm doing with my Shakeology. I need to just be consistent with my posting. And I would just kind of, again, I was sharing about my journey. And what I tried to do was keep a log of, as I was experiencing the workouts, and I was experiencing how I knew this was different from every other diet I had ever tried. And of course, I know this isn't a diet. So that was a huge thing for me to share and explain how I could tell I was changing inside, as well as outside. So I really tried to consider it, and I always can try and think about, like, if my best friend were just sitting right next to me and we were having a conversation, how I would be talking to her. Or, if I were telling her about, how excited I am about Shakeology, what is it that I need her to know about? So I know sometimes we have to be careful we don't talk in a crowd, mindset, like, the way we're posting and talking to everybody, right? You don't want to do that. But on the other hand, I was trying to think about what are the things that people would have questions about, how would, again, to showcase why Beachbody and these workouts and Shakeology in particular were different. So those were the things that I would highlight when I was trying to highlight sort of about my changes. And that's kind of how I looked at it. I was just like, I think about it. I'm very good about, I think any product that I try, it's not even Beachbody. Like, everyone knows, like, if I get excited about something, I'm going to tell everyone I know about it. Like, if I had great service at a restaurant, everyone in town is going to know, like, that restaurant they should go to. So that's me. That's who I am. So when I get thrilled about, oh my gosh, did you hear about the concert series that's coming up? Oh my gosh, you gotta try this. You gotta know about this. You gotta go to it. So again, they know that that's me. And I think generally my Facebook friends, knew that already. I had a pretty good Facebook friend base, I think, when I started out. But again, I was I think always cognizant, because that's probably one of the things that I struggle with at times, is worrying about what other people are thinking. But again, that's a way to take care of objections as well. So that was something else I would consider. Like, okay, if people are like getting annoyed with me, like what would they be getting annoyed about? Like, is it the frequency of my posts? Is it what I'm posting about? So again, I was cognizant of that and tried to I'd create a sort of I don't want to say self-deprecating, but I'd create a post that was sort of to address that without addressing that. So sometimes I try and tweak those kinds of things. Let's see. I definitely right now and probably since I started with the 21-day fix extreme, I was really careful, and I wanted to start just making my policy that I post up my sweaty smiley selfie, I guess, every day. And, I try and incorporate some sort of inspirational quote or fitness related quote, just depending on how I'm feeling or what's going on. And again, I hear time and time again how much that inspires people. And so I'm grateful for that. When I'm specifically trying, and when I'm inviting and doing sort of that group invite, I always make sure I'm putting, comment or private message me. And I was shocked, I think, again, as a new coach, I was so afraid to put something out there, that was vulnerable and oh my gosh, what are people going to think of seeing my sideways, before and afters? Or what are they going to think about? And it wasn't an after, of course, it was a progress photo. But I was like, oh, what is this going to be like? And again, I had a few people liking various posts from time to time, but I was like, yeah, this isn't working. And I kept hearing people say, they're watching. They're truly watching. You wait and see. And by goodness, I started in August. And again, that just kept it would be amazing. I'd post something like that and my private messages would just kind of, I'd get them. And by, I think, January, I really noticed that the consistency that I was putting into my Facebook postings, and again, sharing about the journey that I was on, and again, how I was changing as a person, not just losing weight or losing pounds or in toning up, but that was paying off, because, even if they weren't always messaging me, they were liking, and I could tell who was liking those posts on a regular basis. So those are just some of the things. Again, I try to intersperse my family now, doing that more so. And certainly my job and certain things you can see that sprinkled in. We just had our alumni weekend, for example. Those things are highlighted lately, but that's just a little sort of about my tips, but I'll let the other two ladies share theirs.
Thank you, Miranda. Okay, let me unmute Allison. There you go, Allison.
Great. Hi, everyone. So when I started this business, I was already on Facebook. It just gave me it gave me a voice, a bigger voice. And that was one of the first things I noticed about this business is the idea of being unapologetically me. Because I was always apologizing for my obnoxiousness and just being I'm very outspoken. And I just felt like this really has helped me to kind of hone that a little bit. So what I always tell, people that I'm working with, my coaches, is to be human, be yourself. Posting only about health and fitness is not going to have people who are not into health and fitness connect with you. It's not going to, they're not connecting to that. They may be inspired by it and they may be motivated by it, but they're not able to connect with that because they're not doing it yet. There are some out there that will, but so you really need to figure out and kind of back to what Dana talked about is who your niche is, who you're talking to. And I've heard it said you're talking to yourself a year ago or you're talking to yourself 5 years ago. So figuring that out And then tailoring your post to that, or tailoring your post. This is what I love. Tailoring my post to somebody that I'm talking to. Whether it be someone in my challenge group, or someone who's thinking about coaching, or someone who's interested in the program but has excuses and has provided me with those excuses. I will tailor a post speaking to that, to the degree of what that is. So, and then, you know, what the other thing I talk to my coaches a lot about is you know, and I'll put it on my whiteboard. These are the things this week that I'm going through. These are the things I'm passionate about this week. It doesn't mean it's the same every week, but you know, the things that I love. I've always loved quotes. So finding quotes when I first started this business, like that was Pinterest was my best friend. I would just find quotes on Pinterest, and when one spoke to me, I'd post it. And that's sharing content like that. And it is content, quotes, and you put your own spin on how it made you feel. A lot of people share that stuff. It's a great way to get people to share your posts, and that's engagement. So you want to elicit some kind of action from people, whether it be sharing, commenting, liking, like just clicking on a video, or another link. So all of that is going to get you in front of those people faster, meaning your posts are going to show up in their feed. But if you're not engaging people, your stuff is you don't know where it's going. So it's really important to try to engage. So the other thing I really, so sharing content, I wrote a bunch of stuff down. Another thing I realized that I stopped living my life. I know that sounds so stupid, right? Like I realized I'm like, I got to get out there so I have something to talk about on Facebook, because health and fitness ain't enough. I know that sounds so stupid, but it's the truth. And everything I'm doing that either, you know, that affects me, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to share this, because that's what Facebook has become. It's become just a place for me to share. At this point, I have a relationship with the people that are liking my posts. I have a relationship with these people just on Facebook. So I can't wait to talk to them about what I'm going through. You know, it really is amazing how this has kind of developed. I have found myself recently, because so for those of you who don't know, I've got scarlet fever. I haven't worked out in 3 weeks. I've worked out like a little bit, but not like I usually do. And it's really, really been bad. So I have nothing to post when it comes to working out. Like, what the hell am I going to post about? Like, I'm going to lose people. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I got to step back and I got to think about this. And I realized that that's not who I am. So I started to try to address my other things in my life, and I started asking for advice from people, you know, or, you know, just as I'm having all this time, it's not all this time, but I have a lot more time, I guess, because I'm not working out. And you know, I got to thinking, all right, well, what can I change in my life during this time? Like, how can I use this time to do other things? So it really is about like getting myself organized. I got a new planner, and I asked people, how are you staying organized? I got like 30 something replies. Same thing with like asking what time your kid goes to bed. I had some woman message me privately about like with all these chore things, because I posted about it, that she thought of me. So it's interesting how the things I'm posting about or questions I'm asking, when people see something, now they're thinking about me and offering me help. And that's how we really develop these deep connections with people who eventually, whether they become coaches, customers, whatever, right? So what else did I want to talk about? This was something, so I also did like an Amy Porterfield webinar. And one of the things she asked, which I really likes, and is what do you want? What do you want from your Facebook efforts? Like, not only is it a platform for you to share yourself, share your life, be human, but you're also doing this with the idea of hopefully connecting with the people, the right customer base to build your business. So every time you go to post on Facebook, think about that. What are you trying to elicit here? And some of them could be, I just want to have fun. I just want to post something stupid on Facebook. My ear candling thing had nothing to do with building anybody, bringing any customer into my business. However, I will say this, things like that, I tagged people in that post. So I got exposure, and this is another thing. This is about going out and living your life and then sharing that on Facebook, because you can start to tag people that you're living your life with. And now you get exposure to their audience, right? So for me, that was just fun and and like probably my new obsession. But the woman Heather's audience is now, of course I'm gonna and that's another thing. As soon as I look through who's liked it or who's commented, I see how many connections we have, and that's who I friend. And and it's funny because now my friends know that when I tag them, they're like, "Are you just going to friend all my friends?" I'm like, "The ones that we have common people," and then I'll go back and I'll thank them for friending me, and that's how we start a conversation. This is how I build my network, and it's working. So, what else did I want to say? Stacey Conti has just kind of had this big aha with hashtags. She's hashtagging her like page on every one of her posts, and it's really working for her. So I'm just going to say that maybe you should start using hashtags if you don't. And I don't know enough about them to talk to it. Let's see. Celebrate others. Celebrate, and that's kind of, again, tagging people. Celebrate your coaches, your customers, your people in your challenge groups, people that you see at the store. Like, post on Facebook. It was so great to see Eva Harvey in the supermarket at ShopRite. You know what I mean? People that, I go to that ShopRite all the time. I know it sounds silly, but it's true. This is how people are connecting to you. And what else? So content is different from just your regular Facebook posts. All right. So I just want to mention this real quick. So content is videos, statistical stuff, information, infographics, quotes, pictures, questions. So this is stuff that we need to incorporate specifically, I would say, to your like if your like page, if you have one, because then again, that's the stuff that's going to get shared. Do you understand? Not a lot of people are going to share your status that you and your kid are at Pizza Hut, but people are going to share content. Does that make sense? So these are things where you become that go-to person. You become knowledgeable, even if it's not your own content. You're sharing content that you've obviously connected to and have sought out, right? That shows what you're doing, that you are seeking out nutritional information, that you are seeking out information with regard to creating chores for your kids and trying to have more of a streamlined organizational blah, blah, blah. And that's all I got. Oh, your content. One thing. Your content, this is Amy Porterfield. Your content should educate, entertain, or empower. EEE. Better than endurance. And that's all I got.
Thank you. That was
You're
awesome.
welcome.
Two things that I think you said that were really important. What you said was important, but two things in particular I just want to highlight. Sharing content, like you said, it's content. So it's not yours, it's someone else's. I like how you said you have to put your own spin on it. Like, you can't just, don't just share stuff or post a picture. Write something, like, say your thoughts, say what's on your mind about it, or why it's important to you. And the other thing is how you have to be human and really just post your life, because otherwise, if you're only posting health and fitness, you're only going to connect with the health and fitness people, and they're already into health and fitness. You want to connect with the everyday mom or the everyday teacher or the everyday, whatever that needs health and fitness. So like you said, it's, It's about connecting with people. And if that means that you guys shop at the same shop, right, and that's how you connect with them, then so be it. Because, hey, that's how I connect with my coach. We shopped at Costco. So, all right, Lauren Ruppel, you want to take it away?
Sure. So
Okay.
mine, my story is a little different. I started coaching, well, before that. Time hop is a wonderful thing. It reminds you of where you came from. And before coaching, I realized my Facebook was a negative mess. It was a hot mess. And it's actually almost embarrassing. So anyway, starting coaching, and honestly, I had no idea what to do. I was not even started on my transformation, not even mentally there, hit or miss for maybe a year of it. But so anyway, what I started with though was just posting inspirational quotes, anything positive, because Facebook is full of negativity. And honestly, I think that's what got people to pay more attention to me. Like, you can be negative and fill up somebody's feed and they're just going to unfriend you. They're going to block you. They're going to hide it. But if you don't know what to post, just post something positive. You just find a quote. Pinterest was my go-to, just like Allison said. So anyway, let's see. I'd post workout pics. I'd post what I was eating. I'd post what sales were going on. I'd post, all that kind of mumbo jumbo, and it wasn't getting me anywhere. Not with sales, not with myself. I actually had somebody approach me who I've never met this person. He's a friend of my husband's, and saw that I was a coach. He had done T25 and just started talking to me, and he goes, "Lauren, you have great potential to inspire tons of people, but you're not consistent. If you were consistent with yourself, you would get so much further." And that really it hurt, but it dug and it stuck a point to me. So I learned that, without being consistent and posting that I am working out every day, that I am eating healthy, what am I showing people? I'm not really telling them anything. So I continued this streak for a few more months of let me work out once in a while, let me eat clean once in a while, and then fall off the wagon, have every excuse in the book, etc. It wasn't until recently that I actually sat down with Maureen and said I needed to back up because I was overwhelmed. I couldn't handle it, and I didn't know what to post anymore because I wasn't there with me. So I took a step back from actively doing, the 3 vital behaviors and everything, and decided to start over 100%. I one day woke up and kind of said enough is enough and went on Beachbody On Demand and turned on Turbo Fire. I don't know. I hate cardio, so that was kind of weird. And I fell in love with it and instantly posted a picture, sweaty selfie, here's day 1, starting over. And every day after that, I posted one. Now, to me, that is the most embarrassing thing I could possibly post because I worry that what everybody thinks of me. So am I annoying them with a workout picture every single day? Probably by week 2 of posting every single day. The likes kept getting bigger, so obviously I knew more people were seeing what I was posting. I had people commenting on it, you're my go-to for inspiration, you got me out of bed in the morning, your post. If I missed a day, I got text messages, I got Facebook messages, hey, did you work out today? I'm like, yes, I did. Here's my post. So continued doing that, keep going, and decided, maybe I'll take a video or 2. Talk about embarrassing. That's really awkward. But I did it. And a week after I did that, my coworkers, who are the probably most judgmental people you'll ever meet, all decided to talk about their fitness at the table and said, did you see Lauren's video the other day? Now, none of these people liked or commented on my video. And said, did you see she was kicking major ass on that video? And I was like, oh my God, this is awkward. But it made me realize something. Just because you're posting it and they're not liking or commenting, there are people beyond what you're seeing that are watching you. So I guess the point of me saying that is sometimes if you don't know what to post, take a step back and just post about you. Don't worry about posting about Beachbody. Don't worry about posting about what the next best sale is. I mean, I did that. It got me nowhere for a year. I mean, I look back now and wonder what was I doing. But anyway, so now I think I figured it out. But I kind of want to say I read something today because I wanted to know what I would say to you guys. So I did a little Google searching. And I found this one post about multi-level marketing businesses and what you should not do on Facebook. And the one advice was, I don't even know how he worded it, but all he said is, you want people to ask you what you're doing. Don't tell them. Don't look at them and say, hey, I'm doing Turbo Fire and I'm a Beachbody coach. Post that you're working out, that you're getting fit, and this is how you feel. And they'll say to you, hey, what did you do to get there? You were here last year. Why are you here now? And it'll spark a conversation. Sometimes, like I posted a picture today that, oh, good God, it took a whole lot of guts. But I had 3 people message me about it. I had people saying how awesome it was. And I even submitted my thing to get my free mug and got an email from Beachbody about using it as a possible testimonial. So clearly putting yourself out there gets you somewhere. So I kind of had a new idea that I wanted to share with you guys too, because I'll sit there in the middle of the day. Now I do work a Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30. Can't really post on Facebook kind of job. And so I'll sit there during the day and I'm like, all right, I've got millions of things going through my head that I want to tell everyone, not even Beachbody related. But by the time I have nothing to post and I should be remembering this, I forget it. So I'm now going to start writing down just my ideas. Like the one day I posted, I have that Every Sweat Matters shirt, and everybody is touched by cancer. And so it was a Friday, and I had just heard about, my uncle who was going through some things, and decided, you know what, today's workout's to them. And that workout, it was in my head, and it was tough because I thought of a whole lot of people. And by the end of it though, that's who it was. My post was right from there. It was right from my heart, and it probably touched more people than I know because I got some comments on that too. Beachbody aside, fitness aside, make sure you're sharing your journey. People can't look at you as a consistent needing to be there person. Even if you miss it, post about it. Why did you miss it? And how do you plan to get back on track? Consistency shows that you're there to help them be consistent too. Post about life, just like Allison said. You can't just post about fitness because Lord knows I am not a fitness and health guru at all. So I post about my kids. My niche market seems to be young moms, super young, early 20s, who need to get back to being them already. Can't imagine what we're all going to feel like in a couple years from now when our kids are teenagers. Trisha, girl, you keep me going. But so I post about my kids. I post about life. And when I have nothing to post, sometimes I say I have nothing to post. Hey, have a wonderful day. I'll post just an inspirational quote. Just keep yourself out there. Keep yourself noticed. Tag your husband, your significant other, your best friend in a post that's unrelated to fitness or related. Just tag some people in it. There was something else I wanted to say, but Dan threw my piece of paper in the garbage. Basically, if you ever fall off, just share. People around you are watching more than you know, and the more you do it, the more you're going to be seen. I wanted to tell you, Leah Ertel actually made a good comment the other day. I was talking to her and I said, what is the biggest thing you have noticed about succeeding? And she said, the posts that are so dumb and unrelated to anything are huge. She posted, how did you meet your significant other? And that was like, I'm like, this is awesome. That is the smartest thing I saw. So I posted, what did you go to college for? And I think I got like 52 comments on it. And I don't even know how many likes. I had a friend text message me and she goes, what was your post about? I said, I don't know. I'm just curious. And she goes, your posts are so funny because you get like 1 million likes and comments on them. Well, then I posted, as did Leah, a picture no one would ever notice after that. And the likes probably doubled as to what it was. So clearly the more you post these things you seem are so stupid or so little, that's getting you out there. Facebook has a little game right now going on, and it'll probably only get worse, that if you post sales things, you're pushed down. If you aren't active and you don't post a couple times a day, you're not communicating with other people, they don't see you. So, do your best to just keep posting things that can relate to you. They keep you relatable, and just share with people and acknowledge them. Start a conversation that is about absolutely nothing. And it's just going to grow from there. Just keep going and almost bring it back to basics. One last thing that helped me: follow top coaches. If you don't have your whole news feed with positivity going on, do it, because that has helped me when I have nothing to say. Is I'll be like, oh my gosh, Lindsay, Maureen's BFF, she posted about going on a bike ride, and this is so stupid, but this is awesome. She just shared about going, and she got all these comments on it, mainly because of, you know, who she is. But how did she get there? That's how she got there. They post about nothing, or at the end of it, they relate it to, hey, if you need some help, message me or I'll message you. They tie nothing into helping people. They're just inspirational. They give you a bunch of ideas. So go today, if you don't have any, find 3 new top coaches and just follow them. It will help you. But I guess that's really all I have to say for now. Who knows what I'll think of soon. Thanks, Dana.
Thanks, Lauren. That was really good. That was awesome. And she's right. Go follow. There's a list of coaches, top coaches in the file section of our team page. And so pick 3 to follow. And also, if you're not friends or following Miranda, Lauren, and Allison, friend request them, because like I said, they have great posts every day. So they're people that you should be following. So I'm going to attempt to screen share Allison Porter's video. We'll see how this works. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, well, I'll post it in our team page. But let's see how this goes. Let me see. Hang on one second. Bear with me. Oh, hold on. All right, I'm going to, let's see, screen share. Can you guys see the YouTube
I just got
video?
dinner ready, and I'm off to soccer soon, and I'm not sure I'm going to make the meeting, so
Are you guys seeing this?
I'm making a quick video. First question was, how do I post? So I'm speaking to mothers like me. In a sense, I'm speaking to me. So moms who have young children, who work part-time, who want to be home more with their children, and who need quick, easy workouts and meal ideas. So in a sense, that's me, that's what I need, and that's who I'm speaking to, because there's a lot of moms out there like that. I do speak to women in general as well, but mostly to my niche. I post about 5 things mainly. I've picked 5 things, and sometimes I sway from that a little bit, and I'll post something different. But number 1, I post about my family. I love sharing about my kids. Second, I post about inspirational things that inspire me, because I'm speaking to me, spiritual stuff, faith posts, sort of where I'm at in my life at that time. You never know what you're going through, how it can really inspire someone else or move them. Number 3 is fitness, obviously. This is what we're doing, it's part of our journey. So I post workouts and things about fitness. Number 4 is Beachbody, so Shakeology, the business. 5, I post food and meal ideas, and Shakeology is part of that. But yeah, so every day I post 2 to 5 times a day, but I'm finding I get more engagement when I post a minimum of 3 times. I post in the early morning, before 12 usually is my latest, and then after 7:30, 8 o'clock, which is usually around kids' bedtime. So I'm posting before nap time and after bedtime, because I'm speaking to moms that are like me. And so that's when I have the most free time. So I'm finding that I get more engagement then. So you have to think about sort of when your niche market is going to be online. When I talk about Beachbody, I talk about how it benefits my life. I talk about how Shakeology simplifies my life, and a lot about how my kids love it too. I always try and tie in every post to my life. So I make it more personal. I talk about how quick my workouts are and how they fit into my busy schedule, and how I feel when I'm done a workout. A lot of people really need to feel better about themselves, and they need those endorphins, and like just talking about how it makes you feel can really speak to someone. sometimes I'll tie in my inspirational posts into my workout posts. So I'll post a quote with some text on my picture. I really try to be real. I try to be me because I'm speaking to women like me and I want to attract them as well. So I share my struggles, things I'm going through, things I'm excited about, things that I think my niche market can relate to. So I follow a lot of other coaches to find inspiration. And I also scroll the news feed once in a while. I try not to do it too often, but I try and do that just to see the type of posts that inspire me. And I have a lot of other friends that are in network marketing, but not Beachbody. And I kind of get inspiration from them as well. But I also try and pay attention closely to the things that really turn me off because I don't want to post like that. So that being said, I do not post sales, pictures of products or programs. I don't post prices or links in a post to my website. I want to open up opportunity for conversation. And in that, I want to build relationship. I want to build trust. And so as a coach, you're actually spending a lot of time with your challengers, and they're putting a lot of trust in you, and they're actually telling you a lot of very, very personal things. So being a salesy person isn't building a lot of trust right away. I never post the same kind of workout selfies every day. I don't want my page to be boring. So if someone's scrolling through my personal page, I want them to see different kind of inspiring posts. And my workout posts, every time I work out, I post it. But I try and make it different every day. I don't bring my personal garbage or drama to Facebook because we all have crap and garbage. But that's the kind of stuff that turns me off. So I don't want to see it and I don't want to post it. So like attracts likes, and you don't want drama in this business either. And I don't apologize for being me. I don't want to work with people who don't like the real me. And you just can't be afraid to be you and to post. And if people are going to unfriend you or unfollow you, that's their problem, not yours. This really is an inspirational business, and we are really making a difference. So I hope this information can help you. Have a good night.
Okay. Hey guys. All right. So that was Allison Porter. I think she had a lot of good information in there, especially her do not list. Does anyone hear that? Oh, sorry. Hold on. Sorry. YouTube just like opened up the next video under time management or YouTube, I don't know. I'm like, did anyone else hear that talking? So I think her list of do nots was a really good one. Not posting your link, not posting prices, not posting stock photos and sales, because like she said, you're building a relationship. And by being a salesperson up front, it's kind of squashing that relationship trust building like right from the beginning. So I have to agree with her on that one. So we have heard from everybody, and I think everybody was really good. And I want to open this call up to the rest of you guys for a Q&A with Lauren, Allison, and Miranda. So just unmute yourselves and ask some questions.
Sorry,
Not all at
it's
once,
a little bit of a process for me to on the iPad. It's like way more complicated to try to unmute yourself. You ladies did a fabulous job. Wow, just amazing, awesome. It's nice to hear what works for other people and what doesn't. And I love that you're stepping outside of comfort zones and really just pushing and doing what feels right for you, but then also doing some of that scary stuff. I saw a quote recently, and I might be messing it up, so if I am, I'm sorry, but it said, all of your hopes and dreams and goals to achieve are right outside of your fear, or something like that. But I like what I just said too, so we're gonna go with that. But and that's what you ladies are doing, right? I mean, you're pushing kind of like past your fear and like expanding yourself and just doing these things, and you're being genuine and you're being yourself, and it's just awesome. That's all I want to say. I don't have any questions. Keep being awesome.
Okay, does anyone have any questions? Even new coaches, don't be afraid to just like unmute yourself and ask something. I know you guys have to have some questions on the tip of your tongue, and if you have it, someone else does too. All right, I'm going to ask a question. So Allison Porter told us things that she will not post on her Facebook page. Do you ladies have anything specifically you won't post on your Facebook pages?
I do. Sorry, my internet is getting all funky here. I actually do. I know I mentioned before I was really negative. It got me unfriended by family members because I'd air dirty laundry there. I've figured that you probably shouldn't do that. If you have an issue with them, you probably should leave it off of Facebook. Similar to, I mean, I'm okay with posting some negative things because that's you. If something crappy happens in your life, I mean, not everything is rainbows and butterflies. So I won't post everything 100%, but don't air dirty laundry on Facebook. It's just not a good idea.
Okay. Oh. Here, let me unmute. Is there?
Yeah. Hi.
Oh, there you go. Got it.
I want to, with regard to what I won't post, there's really not a whole lot I won't post, but I will say this. It's really important to, and I never heard this until I started with Beachbody, to breadcrumb. So breadcrumbing, if you have something you feel like you want to share, but it's maybe more vulnerable and very touchy, but it really is a big part of what makes you of what your story is about, you could breadcrumb it. So it's almost being a little cryptic, because I have a lot of stuff that, a lot of traumatic stuff that I feel like is part of my story that I need to get out there because it's being authentic to me, but I also need to watch out because it does affect other people in my life, like family, and who get very upset, and it really upsets them. And I don't want, that's not my goal either. So there's a very fine line there for me. And I struggle with it a lot. Like, I really want to say this, but I feel like I can't. So I'll sit back and I'll like either journal about it. I'll write it out first. So the things that I share, that are like that are the ones that get the most feedback, because those are by doing that. That's what I remember. One person specifically, like, even hashtagged it. We are so much more in common than I thought. And I was like, wow, you know what I mean? Like, that to me meant, like, was big. That's all I have to say about that.
Erica, I unmuted you.
Thank you.
I have a question.
No, I don't have a question.
Oh, you don't have a question?
No.
Well, I thought I did, but.
Well, what did just ask? No?
Oh, no, I was just, I had just posted the sale thing, and that was one of the things people said not to post, like the prices or the sale.
I feel like since that one's so once a year that it's okay as long as you're not like jamming your news feed up with it. That's the one that I'm okay with posting if I'm telling people about. I actually saw something that I liked from other coaches, not on our team. They made a separate group and just said, hey, Beachbody's having a flash sale. Let me add you if you want, like this post or something. So they weren't spamming people's feed, but I guess that would be for next year. But I felt since that's not like every month I wouldn't, but since that's a once a year thing, that was like for me. I don't
Hello?
know.
Did you get that, Erica?
Hello?
No? Hello? All right. Does anyone else have any questions?
I do. Like pages. I hate when people put out there, like all my friends who have direct marketing stuff say, here, like my page. Does anybody have a creative way or a way that they found garnished a lot of likes for their like page that wasn't just like, hey, I started my like page, like it?
Stacey Conti does hashtags. And apparently gets a lot of likes from it. I wish she would say something about it.
You know who's had a lot of feedback on their like page is Alicia. Recently, at least. I notice hers all the time, so she'd be the perfect person to ask about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think another thing you can do is if you put content that people want to see on your like page, like especially a recipe, you put that on your like page and then you share that to your personal page. And things like recipes, especially quick recipes, you know, that stuff tends to get shared, sends people to your like page, and if they like what they see, they'll like your page.
Hey, Dana, this is Christine.
Hi.
Hi. What's a like page?
It's like a oh gosh, we'll have to go over this another time. So instead of your personal Facebook page, you can actually start a like page, which is more for I guess business, right? Is that how you would describe it? A business. So it's not where you have friends on that page, but you have people clicking the like button. And once they click the like button, the stuff from your like page will start to show up in their newsfeed. So a lot of times your like page will have not necessarily your typical Facebook friends, but a much bigger audience and of people who have no idea who you are. Does that make sense?
Cool. Okay. I'll
You
look
don't
into
go
it. Yeah.
advertise on it.
Why don't we all share our like pages after we get off the call? If you have a like page, I'll make a post and we'll share links to our like pages in our on the team page so some of the newer coaches can see what like pages are. You don't want to really look at mine because I'm very inconsistent with it. But it's a good way to expand your market because you get a lot of people who you don't necessarily know seeing this stuff.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Yep.
Melissa, one way that you can get people over to your like page, tease them a little. You won't believe what's going on over on my like page, whether it be a recipe or a new workout or whatever it is. Tease them a little. Ask them to check out your like page by giving them a little tease to go there. That's what a lot of the coaches do. They kind of give them a little taste of something to make you want to click over there.
Know who's got a really active like page? Stephanie Mayer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stephanie Mayer.
I would definitely check her out.
So get them to go over there without actually asking them, would you please like my like page? And a lot of people post on their like page and then share it on their personal page. That was a big thing too that people were doing. So
Are a lot of like pages very general, or do people put them towards their niche market, or both?
I think it's both, but I think it's like a business page. You want to run it like a business. I think if it's about your health and fitness, make it strictly be about, health and fitness. You're not really going to put your family, friends, whatever your 5 things are. Check out some others, find one that you love and copy it and mimic it rather, follow it.
You'll find both. You'll find ones that are strictly
That's true.
fitness, and then you'll find ones that it looks just like their personal page.
Yep.
So
I have, sorry, go ahead. I get more likes on my like page when I include myself in it instead of trying to make it like content. I post a lot of content.
But you are your business, so that's
But then I get definitely more likes when it's me. Like
Right.
if you guys see, whenever you see, what I love when people do those pictures and they're selfies, but then they're like pointing to a quote that you put in later. I find I see so much activity with things like that. because you've got your quote, but you're in it. I don't know. Just things like that. Fun stuff.
All right, ladies. Kaylee has a question. She wants to know, how do you get your coaches to get out of their comfort zone with posting? So we all know what to post: workout selfies, recipes, quotes, Shakeology, before and afters. But how do you get your coaches to get past their insecurities and put themselves out there?
Challenge them.
I was going to say, that's what I've done. I've really just tried to, again, get them to consistently post. That's what we focus on. We focus on the effort, not the, exactly what you're posting. But it's really a matter of getting in the habit, just like you're doing with, your other vital behaviors. So that's how I look at when I'm posting. And that's what I encourage them to do as well. So we just recently, some of my coaches were finally ready to kind of get into things a little bit more. So that's what we talked about. Here's what to post, but now we're going to do it for the next week, and make sure you're doing it at least once a day, and start there, and then encourage it to be more often. But again, so that they get in the habit and figure out where in their routine of the day it works for them, and then check in with them and say, "Loved your post." I mean, that's usually what I do too. Is I'll check in with them at the end of the day. I love that post that you did, and that was great. So it's a nice private message to keep that going. So. And then I'll also say, please keep track of who's liking your posts or who's commenting on those. And so again, then that builds into sort of helping them get to those next steps as well. So, yeah.
And kind of on what Miranda said about connecting with people who like your post. You don't want to necessarily, unless they ask you to contact them, or how do I do, but if they're liking your post, maybe not do it the day of, wait a few days. You don't want people not to want to want to scare them away, that every time they like your post, you're going to be like, da, da, da. Hey, you don't want to, it's kind of creepy. So, so it's you go back a week, you see who liked your post last week, and then you message them, you start forming them a week later and say, hey, what's going on? How you doing? What you up to today? That's really it. That's all it has to be. It doesn't have to be complicated. We like to overcomplicate things.
And just, Dana, if I can just say, I work a job outside of the house. And so one of the things when you're talking about what not to post, I have to keep in mind sort of my job. And so that's kind of always in the back of my head. So I'm careful, again, try not to get into political, anything that way. I mean, it's kind of those things that you don't really want to talk about too much, but definitely political, I stay away from. And the other component for me is I haven't really forged the idea that with my boss that, yep, I'm all in with Beachbody, or, I'm really promoting this. So, I mean, I literally I have my group of people that I basically block from seeing my, big time Beachbody posts. Now, the inspirational stuff, I'll let everybody see it. So again, just keep that in mind, that that's a possibility for you if you have to do that for, a day job or something. And maybe that's what could be, Kaylee, that's another thing to kind of consider with some of your coaches. If any of them work outside, that may be something that's a barrier for them. I know, I talked with Trudy about that when I was first starting, and it was like, ooh, how can I put this out there? I don't really want my, direct supervisors to see me, in a bikini sideways even. So I just, my progress. So again, that's what I was aware of. And I didn't have a like page, and I still don't yet, because again, I feel like that's really putting it out there. I certainly I have a lot of Facebook friends that cross over with my job. But again, there are trustees that I work at a college. So I make sure that they are part of my list of Beachbody not share. They don't get into they don't see those sides of things. So again, realize that you can create that. And so those are that happens. So
I have to do that too. We have a lot of customers that stalk I work in the metals industry. So we have a lot of customers that are on Facebook that'll call in and be like, are you the one Facebook's telling me to a friend request? I'm like, please don't do that. Block my posts so that they don't see someone's.
Yeah. So anyway.
Okay. It's 10:30, so it's almost time to get off the phone, but we have time for one more question if somebody else would like to ask a final question. Going once, going twice. All right then. I would like to thank you all for getting on this call. I thought it was phenomenal. I hope you guys all did too. Thank you to Allison, Lauren, and Miranda. You guys, I mean, you did a really good job. I was really good information. So thank you all for sharing. And yeah, if you have a like page, post it. I'll do a quick post right now and we'll share our like pages. And like I said, find some new coaches to follow. Friend requests these good ladies, and remember to friend request the coaches on your team. If you're not my friend, send me a friend request, and let's do that. All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Right.